Seemingly every other day we hear the news that yet another box office record has been smashed. But what are some of the more interesting movie records that have been established over the years? To clear up the ground rules for what constitutes a valid entry for this list, these following records don't need to be directly about a movie. They can be about the developmental process and the people involved. As long as they were officially set and recognized and pertain in some way to a movie, they're good to go. With that, let's get this top 10 underway. The longest ever gap between a movie and the video game based upon it. And this record belongs to Disney's Fantasia at a staggering 51 years. Released in 1940 as one of Disney's early classics, only their third ever animated film, it's no surprise why they had to wait all the way until 1991 to get their hands on its platformer successor. It's also worthy to note that 43 years after its release came a game that graced the Atari 2600 that also took roots within the vintage flick. Though this was only based upon a segment of the movie Fantasia and not the entire movie itself, so this record belongs to Sega's 1991 title. The movie industry is a particularly fast-moving one. It's rare that we see an actor rise to prominence, and even rarer that we witness them sticking around until their later graying years. Jean Louise Calment is a woman that made a very late game entry into her silver screen career, but a record-breaking one nonetheless. In 1990, she played herself, the oldest living person to know Vincent van Gogh in Vincent and Me. At the time, she was a staggering 114 years old, yet she still soldiered on for 8 more years until she hit 122, smashing numerous age-related records as she went. Bahubali is an Indian historical epic that holds the record as the most expensive feature-length production in the history of Indian cinema. Though, that's not the particular record we're looking at here. To go hand in hand with its staggering production budget, Bahubali has what we can only describe as a freaking enormous poster. It comes in at a staggering 51,598 square feet. That's a rough equivalent to 18 tennis courts. We hope it delivered on fans' expectations because the construction of a poster that size, let alone the film itself, must have been some arduous work. Though they've become more commonplace in recent times, you might be surprised to hear just how far back 3D films date. The first ever 3D feature film was Nat Deverick's Power of Love, and it dates all the way back to September 27th, 1922. The film premiered in the Ambassador Hotel Theater in Los Angeles. It's story-centric to a seafaring captain in the 1840s. Though we somehow doubt it had the flashiness or grandstanding of today's feature-length epics, we're still impressed that this technology came to fruition so long ago. Who doesn't love a good slasher movie? A good old visceral, bloody affair that sees a group of scared, often drunk, teens running from some homicidal madman wielding a machete, chainsaw, or some other piece of iconic Hollywood implement of death. Steven Escobar's The Summer of Massacre was a 2011 movie that aptly lived up to the massacre part of its name. It holds the highest ever body count for a slasher movie, with an almost ludicrous 155 people kicking the bucket during its duration. Breaking a world record of this level is a thing of gravity. Smashing 2 simultaneously is all the more impressive. Earlier this year at the Philippine Arena, the historical biographical film Felix Manalo soundly toppled the records for both attendance at a screening and audience at a film premiere. 43,624 people were packed into the arena. That's more than 4 times the previous record for an audience at a film premiere, which was held by the Chronicles of Narnia, Prince Caspian, with 10,000. During our youthful years, our hobbies included playing with our Game Boy and smashing up Lego houses. Sagat Bistas included directing movies. Sagat, who is also a member of the Film Directors Guild in Nepal, because he wasn't thoroughly embarrassing us enough already, was a mere 7 years and 340 days old when his movie Love You Baba was released on the 12th of December, 2014. Winning an Oscar is a landmark achievement in anyone's career. You'll probably be just as surprised as us when the distinction of the most Oscar-adorned movie is a tie between 3 films that were each awarded a staggering 11 Academy Awards for their efforts. The almost absurdly decorated films in question are 1959's Ben-Hur, 1997's Titanic, and 2003's The Lord of the Rings: Return of the King. We can't really imagine the elation someone would feel upon claiming 1 award for their picture. 11 of the things must be a near sensory overload. Often it's the little touches that can make a film special. A razor-sharp attention to detail, thoughtfully placed character nuances, or just as simple as an infamous shriek that has graced more movies to date than any other sound effect. The Wilhelm scream has earned fame in its own right by appearing in over 300 different movies since its birth in 1951's Distant Drums. Its usage shifting from something that would denote terror or suspense to something of a self-aware Hollywood inside joke or a comedic cue. Though the actual man behind the scream is still unknown to this day, the most commonly accepted answer is that late actor and singer Sheb Wooley brought it to life. We're not sure if he should have been proud that such a notorious soundbite spawned from his lungs, but we're thankful to him nonetheless. The dubious and unenviable honor of the lowest grossing film of all time goes to the tongue-twisting Zizix Road. The reason for its embarrassing gross is due to the fact that the film had an intentionally low-caliber release. The producer, Leo Grillo, had no interest in a domestic release until it had undergone foreign distribution, and so the film was shown only once a day at noon for 6 days at Dallas, Texas's Highland Park Village Theater. The film officially earned an undesirable jackpot of $30 from just 6 patrons. The salt in the wound of the already fairly stinging wound, the opening weekend made only $20, the $10 difference down to a personal refund by Grillo himself to a makeup artist who worked on the movie. At least the makeup artist made a quick profit. The records surrounding movies can be well known and highly publicized, or they can be incredibly interesting vague tidbits. If you have any you'd like to share that you feel the light of day deserves to be shed upon, why not tell us about them just below the video in the comments section. And if you enjoyed this cool hoodie that I'm wearing, you should head over to the TGN merch store, the link of which is in the description below. If you enjoyed this video, hit that thumbs up, subscribe to TGN, and head to central.tgn.tv for even more gaming content. I'm Moxness, and I'll see you next time.